Ferguson, Missouri, and the Michael Brown case, I know that people are literally tired. You can tell that the news media, who should be reporting unbiasedly, is literally wore out. Well, I've got a bunch of philosophers and other people who are sending me, I guess philosophers in their own right, and everybody is, what they're doing is trying to tell me about the forensic evidence that has come out in the case. And y'all have to understand, while, hey, we all may pick and choose to believe what we want to believe. And in this case right here, what you call facts, the people on the street, they don't call facts, because we all know that forensic evidence is subject to be tampered with and meddled with and definitely misrepresented, depending on what outcome you want to bring forth. After all, can you really truly trust anything that the government says? We got police officers planting drugs on innocent people and then booking them and sending them up the river and stuff in order to serve in the modern day slave labor camps, which is called prisons, which, slave master makes a lot of money on, because, he also has these human commodities on the stock market as well, and it's cheap labor. And that's the real reason why the North went to war against the South. It wasn't because of independence or they wanted to free the slaves, like most of you people who have ignorantly been taught this. It had to do with economics, because the South was outproducing the North on an unprecedented scale and level simply because of the slave labor, while the North was paying everybody because they were, part of the inception of the Industrial Revolution. But anyway, don't let me get off course and off pace. Let me just stick to course right here, right now. The problem is that this particular case of Michael Brown is blown up more than the constituents, or let's say more than the established bargain for. And it ain't going away no time soon. And now a lot of people are holding their breath of the outcome of this grand jury verdict. And because I'm telling you, I have gotten to the point, because of the amount of information that I receive and I weigh the evidence. And it's pretty sad, as one who was a veteran and one who used to actually work for the government. It's pretty sad that I know the government so well that I can't trust any aspect of it whatsoever at all. The one thing I guess we can trust is eyewitness accounts of people who was there, who have nothing to hide. And who knows what that could be, because with a nation of bribes, a nation of everybody taking backroom deals and crooked lawyers, crooked judges, suited and booted, to actually make a mockery of so-called civilization or the society as we know it, there ain't no justice in this land. But let me go ahead and report this, because you see, I have quite a few eyewitness accounts right here, and I have a few people up there in that area. They live close to Ferguson, Missouri. And what we have is we have a news alert sent out to the city of Berkeley. Now look at this now. Check this out. This news alert is sent out for one reason and one reason alone. They are preparing for civil unrest on an unprecedented scale. Because if they get a jury verdict, kind of like with this dang Rodney King beating and stuff like that and everything, and you're going to see something. The other day I was on the internet, and let me get on thoughts here for a second. You remember when O.J. Simpson had been accused of murdering his wife and her boyfriend? Way back then, even as a thinking and very young in Torah and stuff, and I'm sitting there thinking, if that's his wife and that's a boyfriend, according to the Bible, both of them should die. But this Western society protects criminals, and I know that you people mindset are all jacked up. For instance, if somebody kills your wife, forget O.J. Simpson. If somebody kills your wife, what do you want to do? Is justice to take those killers and those murderers and put them in a sealed building, protected by all type of law enforcement, behind bars where they get 3 squares and a cot, and you're sitting there suffering? Or is justice is you murder his ass, or not murder, but you kill his ass in restitution for, like the Bible says, an eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. They don't give me this crap for some of you people who think you biblical scholars because you've been duped by the religion of Christianity. That well, you ought to forgive. Now, this forgiveness has to do with the brethren of Israel. It had nothing to do with the world. Matter of fact, when you read Luke 1:60, Luke the first chapter 68, 69, you're gonna find out that Jesus, none of these people talk like this. We have enemies, period. The Israelites does, and that's just the way I see it. But no, I think that an eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth is right, because when Jesus come back, remember, he said, vengeance is mine and I will repay. That doesn't mean you be a stepping stone. That doesn't mean you be a doormat for everybody injustices. I don't know where you get this mindset from. But it is a grave injustice to take that man and hide him from justice, which the greatest justice in the world could come according to the judgment that the husband wants. Well, anyway, you actually on YouTube, they got videos on here for you to see how this country has been instrumental in making sure that they promote racism in this society. Now, mind you, I understand that racism is a fairly new term, and they dealt with people in according to the Bible, according to nationality, not racism. But I tell you what, we have been trained, manipulated, toyed around, played with, spun, twisted, warped, distorted, bamboozled, deceived, made a mockery, run amok. I can come up with 1,000 superlatives of telling you exactly what has happened to us as a people in this world, and how we basically are literally reduced to a bunch of mind-numb, drooling, bumbling idiots who think that they're processing thought after their own volition. And it's just a pathetic situation. It's sad. It really, really, truly is sad. And I'm literally offended. I'm offended that people are toying around with us this much. But hey, when you feed people GMOs, and you spraying the skies with chemical trails, you're lacing the food with strychnine and arsenic, what kind of people can you produce in this world? What kind of people can you produce in this society? How are they going to think? I mean, if you're going to think right, you have to be in good health, and we're a sick country as is. But let me go ahead and get to this. But you go on in and look at the sentiments of this OJ verdict and see how the black people respond and see how the white people respond. And see, I'm a man that uses self-autonomy. I sit and watch it. I can feel the pain on both sides. I literally could. Because some believe that he wasn't guilty. Some believe that he was guilty. And of course, I wasn't there. Just like I wasn't there with Michael Brown. But I do have my own opinion. And that's all that it is. It's just my opinion. And me knowing the history of this country and knowing the so-called system that they call justice, I can already tell you from my own personal perspective and viewpoint, I don't have a lick of confidence in the system of law of this land at all. I really truly don't. That's my that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it just like you're entitled to yours. But I'm going to report something here that is being put out to the people of the city of Berkeley, and it's a news alert. Now, on my printer, it came out very, very dark, but you can see City of Berkeley news alert. This was sent to me. It was sent to me because somebody took a picture of it and texted it to me who was up there in that area. And I'm going to do my best, the best that I can, to try to read this. And I'm going to show you what they're doing and what they're putting out in wake of this grand jury verdict. And I'm telling you, they're already vamping up and preparing for civil unrest on an unprecedented scale. And it's not only just going to happen in Ferguson. It's going to happen all across this country. Because the powers that be, the Congress, they are the ones that have caused this division because they have sold this country down the tubes to the corporations. But anyway, let me go ahead and read this. The City of Berkeley, look what it says. News alert. So listen to me real close, all right? The grand jury decision regarding the Ferguson police officer shooting Michael Brown is expected this month. Rumored as of the middle of November, possibly this week. No one knows exactly when the decision will be announced other than the local law enforcement and municipal leaders. Now, you have to understand, I am really challenged trying to read this right here, but I'm doing the best I can. So you're just going to have to forgive me if I stumble quite a few times, because I'm already really truly speaking a language that's not even native or conducive of my home people anyway. So bear with me, please. However, it is important that we all plan ahead in the event that conditions warrant each of us to stay at or very close to our homes for several days. All right. To make sure your home and family are prepared for a period of disruption, just as you would in the event of a storm. Now, wait a minute. Wait. I can't help it. You know I'm going to put commentary to this. You already know. Now, we believe in preparing ourselves for all different types of, catastrophes. For instance, when I go out on the road, I usually carry stuff that I call an emergency bag. You may call it a go bag. You may call it get back home bag. I don't know what you may call it. But I usually try to make sure that when I head out on the road, and I'm going to be on the road for a little bit, that I have water in the vehicle. I have toilet paper. I have things that are actually going to keep me warm. I try not to ever let my vehicle, and I have a bad habit of doing this, of driving from full to empty, but I try not to ever let my vehicle get below a half a tank when I'm traveling. And the reason being is because you just never know when you're going to be caught in traffic, and you could be sitting there 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 hours. You never ever know. And if it's cold outside, you're going to run that vehicle to get warm. And if it's cold, it would only stand to reason that you would take a few wool blankets and everything else, and then only use the vehicle, start the vehicle for the heat purpose in it, as long as you can tolerate the weather, because there ain't nobody going to be there to help you, because I've been caught in traffic before, and I'm telling you, I watch humanity. One time I sat in traffic for about 3 hours, I think, 3 or 4 hours. And I'm telling you right now that people, they didn't have no problem jumping out of those vehicles when duty calls, over those guardrails, going over in those bushes, and those women turning their back, and men, the women turning their back to the wood line and squatting down and pissing and crapping if they needed to, and then wiping it and letting it go. It's a human function. There's nothing really what you call perverted about that. All the men, people are lined up, and I don't think people was interested in looking and seeing what somebody else has or what they're doing when duty was calling, because they didn't ask to get caught or stuck in this traffic. So we try to prepare as much as we can, a minimum amount, so we don't inconvenience ourselves as we go. And I'm saying it. So, we are considered people who, they call us doomers and gloomers. They have all kinds of superlatives for us, because we store food, kind of like the old people do. They used to can food and stuff. They didn't depend on the supermarket down here in the road to just store the food for them. And we prepare ourselves. We like making sure that we defend our homes from all enemies, foreign and domestics. We want to make sure that we're very precise in doing that. And so we believe in protection and the Second Amendment, or our rights to bear arms or to have a sword. And we're very well trained, educated with that as well. But now all of a sudden, because the city is pending civil unrest, the things that the news media usually jumps on us, calling us cults, fanatic, crackpots, kooks, and why are we doing this? The old stuff. Now they're telling people to do the same thing. You see what I'm talking about? It's utterly amazing. Let me get on here. Please consider the following suggestions. Remember, city of Berkeley. And city of Berkeley is Berkeley is a city that is adjacent to Ferguson or in the Providences in the surrounding areas, okay? Make sure you have plenty of bottled water, a gallon per person per day. I tell people, bare minimum, you need to have 50 gallons of water stored in your home all over the place. Preferably, if you can put them in glass jars, you need to have 50 gallons of water. You need to be able to have access to clean water. Now, why is it that when I tell the people, all of a sudden I'm a cult pastor? I got problems. I'm a fanatic. But then when the damn government puts it out for you, all of a sudden, oh yeah, we need to take heed. We need to pay attention to the information they giving us because we want to prepare ourselves to. No, you all people are nothing but a bunch of circus lines. That's what you all are. Just a bunch of clowns. That's what it is. And I hope you wake up out of this dumb stupor and start to learn how to use your mind. And non-perishable, easy to access food in case you cannot get to a local store for a few days. Well, I be damned. Basically, they telling you everything that the people consider to be in prepper communities. They're telling you to prepare. They're giving you the same instructions, except when there's no so-called perceived threat, natural disaster, all this other stuff. If you do it before then, and I'm going to tell you the reason why they don't want you doing it. Because, see, if you are growing your own food, you're curbing your bill, your grocery bill. And if you're learning how to homestead and taking care of yourself and living a quiet and simple life, not going to live these lavish lives right here, and you're doing all this, you are one that what they call a rebel. You are a dissenter. You are an agitator because you're keeping the people from keeping the economy afloat by going down to the local food mart and paying these exorbitant prices for goods and services that you are receiving a lot less of, and quantities you are receiving a lot less of. Where you used to pay for this, now you're getting this. No. See, it's all about money. It's all the bottom. Everything that they do, the undercurrent is money. It's all about money. So they sent you to their public foods, and some of you are teachers in those public foods, and you learn how to dumb the people down even more so. And then you go to higher food to get food even more so. And they got your mind to where you can't even think rationally like our people used to. You know, people used to be able to survive natural disasters and things without even depending on the government for anything and stuff. But, you know, now they're telling y'all to do everything that we've been telling you to do, those of us who believe in self-preservation. Remarkable, isn't it? Pastor Fox did a video the other day, and it was just, it spoke volumes. Couldn't have done it better myself. Him and Sister Kate was caught in traffic. And he was sending a message, and you think you people going to get out of the cities when a natural disaster or catastrophe comes? No. And, of course, what has been my echo and sentiment for the last 20 years? Get out of the cities. Hey, oh well, take it or leave it, but look at this. And if you're in the city, you should have a place to where you can go. Already prepared. If you can get there. All right, then let me go on. I'm going to try to go ahead and go on because I can probably, every one of these bullet points I can add something to, but this video is getting a little bit longer than what I anticipated. Be sure that you have adequate supply of prescriptions and other medicines to last for several days. Keep your vehicle gas tanks full. Keep cell phones fully charged and operable. Make sure both home and car phone chargers are ready accessible. Make 2 lists of emergency information, physician contact names and numbers, etc. Keep 1 in the house and 1 in your car. Develop a contact strategy. Oh, you mean mutual assistance groups? I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I could not make it, you know. But they want you to, mutual assistance groups. That's what they basically, in other words, everything that we have been preaching and teaching, now they want you to do. Because they are pitted. Now, mind you, the terrorists are the citizens of the United States of America, because the only reason why that something like this could be put out is if they are planning on acquitting the police officer for shooting and killing Michael Brown. That's the only way that they could be doing this. Because if there wasn't a snowball chance in hell that there could be a possibility, and I know that most of you want to try to accuse me of racism. Hey, whatever you want. After all, I'm a presenter of information. That's what I'm doing. But hey, somebody needs to be a voice for the people out here. Somebody does, because I don't trust our government. And don't tell me that you can trust the government. Don't tell me you can trust the information that they put out. You people, do you trust the CIA, the FBI, the DEA, the Department of Human Services, Department of Child Services, of the TSA? Do you trust all these alphabet? I want, come on. Name me one person on here that says I 100% trust, believe, and have total confidence in every one of these government agencies. You go find out what the real true American sentiment is. Now, I know the news media and all those liars up there who are getting paid an exorbitant amount of money to deceive you on the news camera because they're using that one-eyed monster to deceive you and stuff. News sources, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox News, CNN, all that, nothing but deceivers. That's all they are. Lying deceivers. Hey, but they're doing a good job keeping you people in bondage, though, ain't they? Let me go ahead and read on here. All right, where we at? Develop a contact strategy for your family and loved ones to assure that you know where everybody is and that all are safe and able to function. Parents, prepare a contingency plan for picking up your children from school. If you visit disabled persons or senior citizens who live alone, make sure that they are safe and can function where they are. Travel to them may not be possible for a few days. You may want to consider temporarily moving in with them. You may want to consider temporarily moving them in with you or others who can assure that their needs are met. If you use public transportation, there may be some delays. There ain't going to be no damn delays. There ain't going to be no public transportation. That's what I'm telling you. See, all this is written with a forked tongue. It really is. If you are traveling, the airport will be protected by the National Guard. Martial law, that's basically what's getting ready to take place. Posse comitatus, martial law. All civil rights suspended by order of the king. See, that's what happens. You know, when I was dumb, totally oblivious, naive, stupid, didn't care because all I cared about is the dang Dallas Cowboys beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's all I cared. Hey, and what kind of beer I was going to drink that day. It was WWE and the fishing programs coming on, and did my family have food to eat? That was the extent of my life. Besides going out and doing things that could possibly cause a lot of physical bodily harm because I have this addiction to adrenaline. You know, taking motorcycles and going on racetracks and leaning over in curves at 120. 90 miles an hour, dragging your knees and stuff, and jumping out of airplanes. You know, all this stuff that is very hazardous and could be potentially fatal. I don't know why, but that's just the stuff that I was always had interest in. Repelling and stuff. Anyway, but man, when I was dumb and I was mind numb and didn't know any better, before my understanding got open and I could see the matrix for what it truly was, all this stuff was fine. I believed everything, man. Hey, yeah, Democrat, Republican, man. Now I become people's enemy because I have told them the truth. Because I've done my due diligence, my own independent research to inform the people of the political, social, economic, and the religious viewpoints and point of views and the fronts that we are dealing with in this country. Now I'm an enemy. But when I was dumb, dormant, docile, demoralized, and demonized and stupefied, the whole world got along with me just fine. Now I'm blowing the trumpet and warning. Now something wrong with me. Even just reporting only is no telling what kind of backlash I'm going to get for this. But let me see. If you use public transportation, there are some delays if you are traveling the airport to protected by the National Guard. All bags will be checked and cars will not be able to remain at drop-off. No, you better believe, because they're going to have checkpoints. They're going to start checking you. They're going to check you. Number one, they're going to check you for weapons, because, you know, the one thing the government don't want is resistance. They got to stamp out all residue, stamp out all resistance. You know I learned that from? Y'all people know I learned it from? Well, I know I got 2 or 3 of them around here somewhere. You know I learned it from? Man, I learned that attitude, and I learned that perspective from this thing called the scriptures. You call the Bible. You know, basic instructions before leaving the earth. You know, basic instruction before leaving earth. you better start reading this thing because it tells us the greatest history of all mankind. Yes, it does. It tells you exactly what people are going to do. Hey, anyway, that's enough. I'm tapped out here. You're a true, straight way. Shalom.